Hello everyone, welcome back to another FinMeUp weekly stock watch where we cover the most important stock market news that happened during the week with a specific focus on the JSE and a few US companies as well. This week is some of the favorite Twitter companies once again, Purple Group, Sabvest, Renergen, and also Capital Appreciation. So they all brought out announcements, the biggest one being Purple Group. So let's jump into Purple Group. Before we do that, let us know in the comments, what did you think of these results? Are you short-term bearish or bullish on Purple Group? Let us know. And just a reminder, with Paul right here, you can book a call. It is free to have a conversation with him, chat about your finances. He's my financial advisor, so, book a free call with him. So let's get to it. Purple Group. Easy Equities active clients increased by 23.8%. Client assets increased by 15.6%. Group revenue increased by 6.7%. And the group generated a basic loss and headline loss per share of 85 cents per share. The group's net asset value per share increased by 8.9% to only 38.72 cents, so basically 39 cents, where the share price is currently just over 1 rand. Quickly on the results. So before the results came out, we did a video, where I took the Google trends of Easy Equities the past year, the past 5 years, and made a prediction the results won't be good. But I think many predicted that accurately. It was quite obvious if we just look at various scenarios. So the challenges Purple Group faces. This is short-term challenges mostly, but some of them could be long-term challenges. So first of all, currently they are very, very dependent on South Africa's economy. All of their clients are basically in South Africa. They did announce the big partnership in Southeast Asia with GCash, where they have 70 million users. But first they're going to launch as a game, and then when they actually launch the actual investing product and platform, then they need to convert. Remember, this is like a new thing in Southeast Asia, so it's a massive opportunity, but it's definitely not guaranteed success. That the entering a new market is never guaranteed success. Okay, so in South Africa, let's just look at the local economy, because that is where they're operating now. Also, if you expand internationally, there's regulations that you have to abide. So locally, they are facing not a great economy. Load shedding. Inflation is extremely high still. We've got the dollar is high, so inflation is staying longer for longer or higher for longer. Then we've got higher interest rates. People have to pay more on their debts and settle their debts, whether it's home loans, personal loans, whatever loans that might be. If it just creates less disposable income at the end of each month. And Easy Equities, which is Purple Group's biggest asset, is usage-based. People have to trade for them to make money. And in an economy and environment like this, people are trading less. We're not seeing a massive bull market. We're actually seeing just a stagnant market at the moment, which doesn't excite any people. Less and less people actually care about stock picking and stock investing, and that hurts the trading activity on Easy Equities. Okay. Then you've also got regulation challenges everywhere, because in the industry that they are operating in. And then you've got the fact that the South African market, they already have a massive market in South Africa. So, how much growth is left? Then you've got the valuation of Purple Group. So there are a few challenges. Now, let's look at the positives and where there could potentially be growth. They are launching new products. Okay, so they already have distribution. Distribution is the biggest challenge in building a business, especially business to consumer. Okay, so they did that. They've got an incredible platform. I mean, I use Easy Equities. It's really an incredible platform. It's for a competitor to build the same platform, it's going to require massive amounts of resources. But then you still have to build the distribution. Okay, so they already built something incredible, which they can just capitalize on now. They've got various products that they already launched, Easy Properties, Easy Crypto, then obviously the investing platform, but they're also launching several other products. So they have the distribution, they have the platform, and now they can just, monetize the existing platform more and more while continuing to add consumers. So, this is an incredible business. What the management did was incredible, and what they are still doing is really incredible. What they've built is very difficult. But the thing is, a stock price and the company is sometimes not the same thing. Currently, the stock price is really overvalued. If you look at traditional methods of valuations, if you look at the PE ratio, the price to sales ratio, if you look at any ratio, in fact, they are expensive. Yet the share price is still holding up nicely. So for me personally, I love his equities. We as FinMeUp love his equities. We've got FinMeUp baskets on his equities. You know, it's the best platform in South Africa out there, in our opinion. But just for the share price specifically, I do believe there are better opportunities elsewhere in the short term. In the long term, if you think about Capitec, you know, didn't go from 10 Rand a share to 1,000 Rand a share just, you know, linearly. It had a lot of up and downs. There were some bad quarters or bad years. There were great years. And that's the thing, you know, to an extent, Purple Group is a cyclical business. It depends on the economy. It depends on the market. So personally staying on the sidelines, definitely watching it very closely. If it drops, you know, to 75 cents, 70 cents, if that even happens, there's no guarantee it will happen. There's strong support. Then I'll definitely look, you know, to add to my portfolio. I was a massive Purple Group fan in 2020 and beginning of 2021. It ran a bit too hard, and that's when I started selling and focusing on other companies that I really love. For example, Santova, as many of you know. But anyway, so Paul, a lot of comments. What do you think of these results and just the short-term narrative?
Yeah, I mean, you gave some very good insights there. Maybe I'll add a few of my own. So firstly, you know, it is quite satisfying to say that, you know, I told everyone, guys, it's getting too much. You're getting too excited here. Just take a step back, maybe trim your position. Now it's fallen a lot, but now it doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good to me that people are losing money. And I didn't lose money, but I know some of my clients did. Some of the guys on the platform did on FinMeUp. So maybe the lesson here is, you know, a famous quote in investing that says you can fall in love with a stock but never marry it. And hopefully we're still young. So I mean, I make a lot of mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes. Maybe just learn from this, especially tech stocks, especially and small caps. Tesla, Renergen, Bitcoin, Purple Group. It happened. It's inevitably going to happen, especially in a recession, right? So that's the first thing. Then secondly, I was actually surprised by the results with the, you know, active clients 24%. Assets increasing, that's not too bad. The problem here is the expenses. So the expenses went crazy. Development, salaries, all the operating cost, marketing, that went through the roof. And that's the reason why we saw a loss this time as opposed to a profit in all the previous periods. Then my third comment is that there is a price at which Purple Group will make sense again. Now the big question is, what is that price? You know, in my opinion, now I'll take this with a grain of salt, it's probably around 60 to let's say 50 to 75 cents. That's where I will start looking at the stock again. But on the flip side, Purple Group has a very, very strong following, especially from retail investors in South Africa. People love Purple Group. So I'm not sure if the retailers will actually allow it to go down to 50 cents. But if it was any other stock, I would start looking at 50 cents. But I think Purple Group will probably turn around at 60, 70 cents. But it might not, like you said. I mean, we've had such a big backlash now that people are, okay, now let's buy again. So maybe it never goes there. Then directors dealing. So we chatted about this quite a few times ago on the channel, way back when we started seeing, you know, the red flags. So I have it in front of me here. In the last 3 years, literally, there's not been a single insider that's bought shares. I mean, I'm just looking at it. 840,000 sell, 840, 1.2 million, 165 million, 3 million, 3 million, 5.5 million, 6 million, 5 million, 2.5 million, 8 million. Here's a 40 million rand sell, 14 million, 2.5 million, 8 million, 24 million. That's crazy. So, I mean, like you always say, this is like one of the things that you always say. Directors sell for a lot of reasons. It can be anything, tax, diversifying the portfolio, all of that stuff. But they only buy for one reason, that's because they're bullish. Now, if you don't see a single buy and selling, that should at least give you an inclination of what's going on here. And that's why we also, on the daily highlights on the FinMeUp app, we post directors dealings, because it's not like that is going to determine where the price is going. It's just insight for you, just to think about it. Why are these people buying? Why are these people selling? Anyway, so yeah, I think, interesting. I'm going to keep my eye on it. Let's see what happens. Very, very interesting.
Yeah, I mean, you know, one thing to note is that many of those sales were options that expired, you know, and we can do a separate video just on that. Let us know in the comments if you want us to do a video on when director sells with options, you know, what that means basically. But on the other side, you know, even if people sell because of options, you still want to see some buying, and we haven't been seeing that. But anyway, it'll be interesting to watch. Let's get to 3 other companies: Sabvest, Renergen, and Capital Appreciation. So Sabvest, Paul and Josh Viljoen covered Sabvest in detail on this YouTube channel, so you can check that video. Everything about Sabvest. It's also a retail favorite. But in this week, a director purchased around 125,000 Rand worth of shares, and a prescribed officer also purchased around 640,000 worth of shares. Not huge amounts, but buying is always a positive signal, and it's great to watch. And what this company has done, and Chris Seabrook over the past few years, building that net asset value, building the book, building everything positive, has really been impressive. So check that video on Sabvest. Renergen headlines loss per share posted. It's expected to be between 22.6 cents and 17.1 cents, representing a decrease in the headline loss per share. So the loss is becoming less. I'm really looking forward to the actual results to see, is there actual revenue growth? That's going to be quite important. And then there's going to be quite a lot of things we'll have to watch in the actual results. Debt levels, revenue. Is the onboarding happen, new clients, is the actual client transitioning happening, where Renergen is in this process. So looking forward to the results. This is just a trading statement. So stay tuned for that. We'll cover Renergen when they post the actual results in detail. We'll cover that. And then finally, Capital Appreciation, another small cap. This is a company that owns fintech players. So DashPay, African Resonance, HaloDot, quite a few interesting companies. They are basically a holding company, and they've done well over the past few years. They did have a write-off with GovChat, I think that was the name, but they concluded another agreement to acquire 100% of Dariel Solutions for 131 million Rand. The acquisition will be settled by a combination of cash and shares. Dariel provides software engineers or engineering development and related activities, with a strong focus on software for financial institutions, so it fits what Capital Appreciation already does well, and others in the financial services and fintech sectors. The acquisition is subject to certain suspensive conditions, including the Competition Act approval that they need and satisfactory due diligence results, which still needs to happen. So just in short, the acquisition is not happening 100% just yet. Transaction Capital believes the acquisition is consistent with its investment philosophy of investing in in asset-light companies that deliver innovative and disruptive fintech solutions to mainly institutional clients. So what I think of this acquisition, it is quite a large acquisition for Capital Appreciation. Looking at the size of the company, this acquisition is 131 million Rand. This is not this massive exciting company, Dariel Solutions. It is basically, from a first look, it looks like a more consultancy type based company that does development for financial institutions and build products for financial institutions. So, for the at least next 10 years, there's going to be a massive demand for this. They are profitable. This company is making money, so it will definitely add to the top line and the bottom line for Capital Appreciation. And Capital Appreciation is sitting on a lot of cash. So it's nice to see that they are implementing it somewhere where they will actually see a return. Paul, any thoughts on this acquisition? Like I said, it's not massive exciting, but it's definitely going to help the bottom and top line, and we're going to have to see how it plays out. But what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think it's exciting. Capital Appreciation isn't the company that I've been necessarily following. I haven't ever bought, I haven't ever sold, I've never entered the position. I know there's a few mentors on the app that likes this company. Not my game. So maybe I'll share a thought or two on Sabvest or Renergen. So Sabvest, just very quickly, I've never been a fan of holding companies, as you know. But after chatting to Josh Viljoen, I really did learn a lot. He's a smart guy, and he explained it quite nicely, like top level, but also enough for me to think about. He also mentioned the video that Keith McLaughlin and who was it, Simon Brown. They had a chat on how to the discount to NAV, how to actually determine that for holding companies, which was something I've been wondering about for a long time. But that's a very technical thing. But the point is, Sabvest, I was impressed by Josh Viljoen. I am considering. I don't want to say that I bought, but yes, I started doubling at Sabvest, not financial advice at all. But after chatting to him, I did quite like it a lot. And then also Renergen. It's come down a lot. Once again, like I said last time, these levels are now levels at which I'm considering maybe start start nibbling, because there's a lot of potential, and it's not a short-term play. I mean, if you buy Renergen, you should know you're locking your money in for 5 years, and you should be content with that, because potential needs time to reach potential, if you know what I mean. It needs time to go through from point A to point Z all the way through and start making money. So let's sit back, buy the stock, or if you want to buy the stock, sit back, relax. 5 years, open your easy equities portfolio. Maybe you made a lot of money.
5 years later.
Yeah, maybe not, because potential does not always lead to actual execution. There's definitely risks involved. For those who don't know, FinMeUp is a financial education platform who also provides trusted products. So if you don't have the app, you are missing out. We have various mentors posting content there, daily highlights like these. We've got the quiz where you can build streaks. Every day there's 5 new financial quiz questions. It's really fun. Go check that out on the FinMeUp app. We also have products. We've launched the financial advisory, so you can book a call once again with Paul. We've launched FinMeUp Home Loans, which is where we basically get you quotes from all the banks if you need a home loan. And soon we are launching quite a few another exciting products, so stay tuned for that. Let us know in the comment if you have a quiz streak, what that streak is. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being part of the community. Like and subscribe. It goes a long way. Cheers.